I fully believe that if you've got an organized studio, you do the best art you could possibly do. So today I'll take you through my home studio and share with you some tips for managing small studio space. If you're new, I'm Sarah J and I would like to welcome you to my channel. It is ideal to have a lot more room when you paint and draw, but honestly, as long as you've got a corner that is completely yours. I didn't always have a studio. I started off in a corner of a family room and I was very appreciative and absolutely loved it. Great little spot until the arrival of beautiful Snow, which we picked up at 8 weeks old, and she was a real cutie, still is. She got herself into all sorts of trouble and loved to play in the family room with me, including getting her head stuck in a bucket, which was quite amusing. It was all very good until she grew bigger and there was just no room and something had to give. So my husband Dave generously gave up his office and we got to work on preparing the studio, including redoing the studio floor and lovely polished floorboards, and I was all set. I had my little studio where it was just for me. Happiness, pure happiness. Back to now. So I wanted to share my top tips with you and how to manage a small space. Perfect. And so for me, having a little painting station on wheels, this little guy is a game changer. Absolutely amazing. I love it. This moves around and I move it all around the room as I need to because it's all on wheels here. You can see the wheels. So at the moment, I'm just going to click those on and that will not move. And I can put all my things in here. I've got my blow dryer for drying and some tools, palette knives, Swiss burrs, here, pencils, charcoal pencils. I've got some paints. I've sorted out in main colors. I've got my reds and pinks and my yellows in here. I put acrylic in because that's what I'd be using the most. And I've got all my greens here. And I've got blues and purples. Very, very handy. I'm not sponsored by Meeden, but just to show you how well it works. I've got my paint brushes in here. And this is a really great tray for space. So I can actually move it and you can put it wherever you want. I can put it at the front. I've got a chair there, so I don't tend to put it at the side. I tend to keep it out here when I'm working. I tend to keep it here when I'm not working. It's good for storage. But when I'm actually painting, I find it's really good here. Also, I have a really cute little board here, and then I've got my pen and I can write, I guess, what I want to do for the week. I've got a little mirror there, so that's very handy. So if I want to, check my makeup before doing a YouTube video or a post, that's working really well. And then I've got a really handy rack for hanging my guitar. So obviously I'm limited in space, but this is great. So I can literally pull it up and put it back down. And that's amazing because I love to play my guitar. Even if you have a small space, it's nice to have somewhere to sit. And this is a great little chair, and I love this chair. I got it from a furniture shop in Richmond. And you can have a look at my little view here when I sit down, and I can look out the window, which is so nice. I think it's really important to get inspiration. So that's my little view. Another really important thing for me is natural light. This is where all the lovely natural light is coming in. So I really wanted to maximize this light. Knowing that I can get natural light is really important for my paintings and for any drawing that I'm doing. So being near a window, even on a cloudy day, makes all the difference. So I'm really happy with this setup, always having my painting set up in front of the window. It also has side arms that you can push up. So you can push up these arms And that means that I can play my guitar when I'm sitting there, which is really, really good too. And this is just a little backrest I put in, which is really comfortable. I've got my printer in the corner here, and I've got some cardstock and paper here in the first drawer. In the second drawer, I've got some musical supplies and music books. Third drawer, I've got art that's in display books that is ready to be sold or for future projects. And in the final drawer, all my gorgeous paper. Oh, my beautiful paper. I've got lots of different paper pads in here. And yeah, that's a really important drawer. So that is definitely accessible whenever I need it. So this is my drawing desk that I just bought from Meeden. And this is great. So this actually goes on a tilt. You can see the mechanism here, and that will go on a tilt at an angle, and I can use it as a desktop or I can use it as a tilt, and it's extremely handy. It's adjustable as well, so I can bring it up if I need to bring it higher. Sometimes I like to just sit here and journal, and yeah, so this is really good to have. And I've got a chair that I can also bring across, so that's very handy. So I can sit there and do my little journaling, which is lovely looking out my window. No matter how small your space is, it's nice to have pretty things. And I personally like to go into my garden and grab flowers. And these are some beautiful lavender that I had in my garden, and another flowering shrub here. And I just thought it was so pretty, and I find it really inspiring. And I think especially for small spaces, you need to make sure that you're, making it look good and pretty. And then when I'm ready, I can move my chair. And I have all that space, which is great. Love my easel. And it's just fantastic. So get yourself a really good easel. That's key. And I can change in it. I can adjust it as I need to, this easel. So that's good. I can bring this up and down. Yeah, so that's great. And then when I'm finished for the day, I can just push that easel back in, and I've got more room already. So this is a cute little corner here, and I've got in these drawers, I've got mainly stationery. Got my matches, but I've got tape and different things that I use in there. And I usually have a candle going because I think that's nice and a lovely plant. And I like to have fragrance in my room, so I've got a really nice fragrance there too. And a candle, especially at night too, it's nice. So it's a nice little corner there. And I put my paintings on the wall as well. Something that I do use quite a lot if I'm doing music is the electronic blind. So I bring that down. And of course I would use that in the summer, but if I'm doing music, I can do that, which is really, really handy. So I'm very thankful for that. And then in the next corner, I've got my desk. This is an up-down desk, so it can move up and down, which is another good little trick. And you can put it up if you needed to. I could use it to put my drawing easel on it as well. And that comes right up, which is incredible. And yeah, I can just put that down when I want to. There it goes. Got my screens here. Obviously I use this for editing YouTube videos, but I've also got musical equipment too. I've got my Focusrite, so when I want to do my recordings musically, and I've got other technology in the cupboard, which is great. Another great little thing if you don't have a lot of space is to get a stand. This sort of stand is great, and I can actually push my keyboard underneath there to create more room, and then I would have all of this room as well. So they're good little tips as well. Organizing is really, really important in a small space. So at the top of the shelves, I've got all my art books and reference books. I love all the Impressionists, so I've got plenty of those. On the second shelf, there used to be a cat run here. Unfortunately, Gypsy has passed, but there's still holes, so I've got to fix that. And this is my stereo, and I can use this also for music, entertainment, and listening to, I guess, any music musical editing that I'm doing, listen to the music recordings back. And then this shelf, I've got more art supplies, and I've got some acrylic paints. I have some Conte pastels, on my inks. I love all my inks. Some water, some acrylic paint pens. I've got fixable, workable matte finishes. I've got my easels in there, more pastels and Conte. And I like to also have fragrances. So I've got fragrances for my area, which is lovely. And then I've got my equipment and then all my technology, I guess. It's not attractive, but it needs to be accessible. And I've got my headphones there as well, and my camera and equipment. And then the usual administration files. And this is a great cupboard too. I've been doing a renovation in my main ensuite wardrobe. So this is actually full of clothes. This is usually filled with camera equipment and lighting as well. And down in the corner here, I've got my drawing easel, which is very handy. And I just keep that behind the desk there. And so when I need it, I can grab it out. So it's nicely tucked away and neat. Another great little trick is having a drying rack on wheels. And that's what this is. So I can dry paintings here. There's plenty of room, as you can see, and I can move it around. So that can go where I want it to go. It's extremely convenient. And then when I want to, if I really need a lot more space, I can actually wheel it out, which is just so great. I can just wheel it out of the room. And that's particularly good as well if you're trying to get things out of the sun too. But I love that. My husband made it for me, custom made. He's very handy, and I can fit all my so many paintings on here. And it's just got a wooden base trolley that you would find. And then he's added those racks and had those nailed in there, drilled those in. So that is incredible, and that's been a real game changer for me. And if you can have one made, definitely get it done. If you've got a handy partner, or maybe you can do it yourself, highly recommend. You've got to really find what works for you, and you will. You need to sometimes adjust and fix things, but you will find what works for you. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You need to get to know your space and your needs and what will work for you. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for visiting me today and seeing my little art studio set up. Hope you've got some ideas if you've got a little studio space or part of your house. I hope this has helped you. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe so you're notified of future content. Until then, signing off.